Good afternoon. Hello. And welcome along to something slightly different. Right, we're back with rFactor 2, but I will be driving against the AI today. I felt like I needed more laps on Mantorp before we get to the race itself next week. So I figured, why not do some more laps then? So we are currently in the qualifying session, and I can see that the tower is not on. Refresh that one. Okay, so it says, oops, that's not the right one. This is the one. So it says overtake on the top there, but that's... yeah, okay. Well, good enough. And as you can tell, we are getting some times in qualifying. Now I will be starting from the back, because I feel like that is a bit more fun. Making my way through the slower cars, slow class cars first, and then try to make my way through up through the up through the super touring cars towards the front afterwards. I have also increased the fuel usage to double what is normal, so everyone should in theory have to do a pit stop in the 90-minute race. Well, you know what, instead of just sitting here and waiting for the time to go, let's fast forward it a bit. As you can see on the leaderboard, I have two Opel Kadett DTM cars from 1989, which are faster than the super touring cars. Which is interesting. And I have the preview picture for the Peugeot 208 Cup cars is wrong. They don't load properly when on track. So I have 8 Peugeot 208 Cup cars running around at the back. And to round off the field completely, we have 8 Fiat 500s. So it is a 40-car grid for this race, and it is, well, 8 seconds between in pace difference, so we should be doing some lapping and stuff at some point through the race. Right, so everybody has put in their qualifying time. Of those who want to qualify, then we move to the next session. And I'll do a quick lap just to see how the car feels with a full tank of fuel. Just to get a little bit of a feel for it, and then we'll jump into the race. It also feels a bit strange having pit box this far down the grid, because usually in real life we have our pit boxes a bit closer to pit entry. So I did double the fuel usage compared to the normal setting, but I have kept the tire degradation. Kept that at the normal level, because these front-wheel drive cars will chew their way through the tires at the front anyway. So I did see that already in the 20-minute races we did on Thursday. Yeah, now everything seems to be working quite well. We'll drop the car-specific multiplier down a little bit though. Right, let's jump into the race then. So a 90-minute race. I haven't seen... Oh yeah, everybody seems to be getting a good spot on the grid. Well, a spot on the grid anyway. That'll be fine. Yeah, 40 cars is probably the maximum that we want to use on the track like this. That was a brave one around the outside in turn one. Oh, everybody's stopping. Whoa. Okay, so the AI didn't want me to keep a straight line to the back straight. Hold on, there is one thing I've forgotten to do. I need to click set the starting order so that everything will be as correct as it can be. I've set the aggressiveness of the AI to 45%. As you can tell, they are quite aggressive with that setting. I had a bit more room there than I thought I would be given. Hi Hugo, welcome along. Some multi-class racing. Yeah. As you can tell, it's not only Super Touring cars on the track for this race. Oops. A bit of a touch to the car ahead. Oh, Multiclass. I missed the T. Okay. I do have a habit of missing those T's, don't I? That guy was really arguing the position. Ooh, look at that. We have the van up ahead, the 809. Which naturally is at the back of the Super Touring field. Because it is a bit heavier than the regular Super Touring cars. .806, yeah, of course we're a few years in the past with this. So how are we doing with fuel? We're already down 10 liters. And we're already half up down on the cadettes. Okay, so I had the AI difficulty level set at 98 when I did the practice for the thumbnail picture, and I couldn't keep up with them. They were just leaving me for dead. So I went down to 96% to see if I could at least be in a fight with the Super Touring cars, but now it seemed to be that seems to be a bit too lenient, maybe. I managed to cut to the inside. Yeah, the AI difficulty, it differs so much between tracks and mods and everything in this game, so there's no one level fits all. Hi Paddy. Yes, it is an AI race. Oh, what was that move in the middle of the corner? Yeah, no, but looking at it now, I probably should have stepped or stayed at 97%. Because 98 was a bit too much and 96 is a bit too little. That being said, I still have 16 Super Touring cars ahead of me. Essentially in my class. And of course that is why there's so many different classes in the leaderboard. It is because every different car is ranked as a class. Let me have a look if I put mixed like this maybe instead, then it won't be looking as cluttered. Is the hope. No, I don't think anybody jumped the start. If anybody would have done it, would have been me. I was being spun around in turn 1 though, no, in lap 1. In the exit onto the back straight. I see another big car up ahead. Yeah, it was quite a lot who had that jump start in race 2. I think Nico might have been the only one in race 1 who had that jump start. Around the outside into the sweeper, which with the Astra it is possible, has been possible to take that sweeper after the crest, to take that flat. You have to have a little bit of a lift with these cars. Where's the Volvo? He's backed off. Oh, we're down to 35 liters already. So it's gonna be at least 2 pit stops for this race then. Very defensive drive by the Primera into the sweeper. Spark the eagerness to get going, yeah. And the leaders are at the back of the big wide corner from the Primera up ahead. No, the leaders are making their way through the rear end of the pack already. Now the good thing about this, with this many cars on the track here, it's 40, well, we are 40 cars on track now. I think last year in the real life race we had 45 cars or something like that, so it is quite similar. The only thing we don't have, that I don't have in this race, is the higher number of cars that are a lot faster than we are. Ooh, that's the first Fiat. Myself into the F2 corner. Eighth position in class, that Fiat. How much faster was I on the corner exit than the Peugeot was? Man. Awesome. I don't think we've had any pit stops yet. But we're not that far away from getting the first ones. Did get stuck behind the AI. Ah, okay, so I can't just change the front tires. Now this is more like the race really is. Overtaking right and left and using the traffic to gain a position or everything. I'm in the 406. Well, it is the most Norwegian colored car in the mod. With being red, white and blue. So as the real life race is originally he stopped. It's like a match between Norway and Sweden. Which is why we have to have the painted flag on the roof on the car. So I figured then I'll go with the most Norwegian looking car. If Roger Moen's Honda would have been in the mod, I would have used that, because that was properly Norwegian themed for the 1998 season. Oops. Yeah, either the BTCC, the green and gold SO, or the STW, the yellow car with the blue accents or the blue details. Oh, we have a car in the had a car in the pits. Had the Volvo Camry on Thursday, yes. Yeah. Joachim had done a quick mock-up of the livery that we'll be using on the Camry. Not giving this position up easily, even though we're in different classes. I am in 5th position and the leading cars are not that far up the road. Cool. That sounds like a very low flying helicopter on the outside here. The game wants me to come in this lap. But I do have fuel to do at least one more lap. Well, it says that I have another 4 laps of fuel in the tank. Well, I'll continue then, thank you very much. Despite the Mondeo ahead of me going into the pits. Do one more lap before I go to the pits, I think. But yeah, now we have come to that part that I really like about this sort of racing with different classes and everything. You have a great mixture of cars popping up everywhere around you on track. Oh, the cadets are in. Ooh, up to the podium. Prince van Bayern leading is the most unrealistic thing about race. Yeah. Oh, they're both going for the pits. Which means that I'm going for the point for leading the race then, at one point. And I need to come in for fuel on the next lap. Well, for the AI drivers, the BMWs are a bit overpowered in the class, it seems. Because they're always, you know, like 3/4 faster in their fastest lap time than the fastest front-wheel drive car is. Meow. Now, right on the left here is where we usually have our pit box when we're driving, under one of those garage roofs. My pit box for the race is in the penalty box. BMW itself was a bit overpowered in real life. Okay. So, starting from the back and then after the pit stop coming back out onto the track in third position. And somehow the cadets are not the ones that are up in front. Well, in one way, this is a bit like an NLS race, but just on a shorter track. Fight for the lead. Oh, and all 40 cars are still running, so that's good to see. Well, he's not giving it up easily. Ultra defensive into the last corner. That's advantage me then. being able to take a the proper sorry, the proper race line and get the undercut on the exit. Now we're coming up on the box again. Oops. I have not brought the Audi into this race, by the way, because that car, that car is four-wheel drive in the mod, so that's definitely a bit overpowered. It's strictly not allowed in the real-life race. Now this has been a bit unusual, to have a whole lap by myself. Which is why I keep messing up every single apex I can, I think. Oh, yellow flag up ahead. stranded Fiat. Is that the first casualty of the race? Yeah, because there are some Fiats doing pit stops right now. What was the... Oh, it was a Peugeot. That was a bit hairy. There's a couple of awkward corners to catch up to slower traffic. I would love to do a race like this. An online race like this. With a number of different classes and such. With cars that aren't really the most normally associated with endurance racing. Yeah. Yeah, that is the biggest issue with it. I'd happily go in one of the slow classes myself. And I mean, we did see it when we tried the GT3 cars versus the BTCC cars, the NGTC cars before the official DLC. Tried that as the first race that Ole hosted actually in the RF2 club. And we were 3 guys driving the touring car and everybody else was driving the GT3. Yeah, I can see that not being keyboard friendly enough. I don't know how it is to drive with a controller though. Diving to the inside in turn 1. halfway through another tank of fuel. We might actually have to stop for a quick splash towards the end there of the race. Oh no 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 no! If we can get that far. I've been out here in real life too. In almost a similar manner. Being a tad late on the brakes, locking up and going straight into the gravel. Into the gravel, which thankfully wasn't deep enough to strand the car. Just skipped over it and could rejoin the track. Yeah, not quite yet, Hugo. Give it another 45 minutes, at least. There is another reminder though that you don't want the mind to wander around too much. Not that you have time to do that in a real life. Setting. With all the G-forces and everything pulling about and everything in the car. You are really just focused on driving. Oh, some rubbing. Rubbing is racing in the cars ahead of us. I say that I have to brake into that little kink. I'd brake down to 160 kilometers an hour through that corner, so yeah. Still fairly fast. And that is some more Super Touring cars up ahead. I haven't seen many of those in a while. And now that the tires are starting to get worn, that is probably more the correct, giving off more the correct feeling of what the camera will be like around here. Given that we're going with road tires on that car. Road tires and the stock suspension from the 90s, sorry, early 90s. Kronos Racing. Cool. I only know them from rallying, really. They run a lot of Peugeots and Citroens in the WRC and the IRC as it was back then. So fuel for another 4 laps. Possibly. Which is not going to be enough for for just one more pit stop to the end of the race. Kronos was behind the 806 Pro car. Oh yeah, of course, because they're a Belgian team, aren't they? They won the Spa 24 hours with Peugeots when it was a touring car race, yeah. That's another thing that I really enjoy. Are a bit outside what everybody else is thinking of, I believe. But I do like some endurance racing with touring cars. I like the VLM as it was, with all the cars that were being kicked out of that for being too slow because everybody else was driving GT3 cars. And we had a big pack of Honda Civics and Peugeot 206s and yeah, a lot of different cool cars in the lower end. Cars that you literally could just take off the street, put the roll cage in and go racing. And go endurance racing. Fuel. Oh, I should probably go into the pits this lap actually. Oh, I do have enough fuel for another lap. Oh, there's a Peugeot that has retired. And the Fiat. Those are the only two cars that we have lost out of the race. That Vectra behind us there must have done some repair work to the car. Given that it was still standing there after we could move to get back onto the track. Yeah, there's still 32 minutes to go, so we need another splash. In the IRL race, there is a mandatory 5 pit stops of 4 minutes, with a 4-minute minimum pit stop time. That is to make it easier to change drivers and such. So you don't really have to rush anything in the pit lane. Of course, if you need any pit stops outside of that, then they don't really count that for time. But you have those 5 mandatory pit stops. Half an hour left of the race. What time is it? 3:33. So it might actually start to get dark towards the end of the race. As it does in the race in real life. Oh, first gear. And it still wasn't enough to get the fastest lap of the race. Ah. Yeah. And I did see the big gaggle of cars up ahead. So I think the quest for the fastest lap of the race is already over. At least for a good few laps. Come to think of it, I still haven't seen any of the cadets in the race. They must be still driving, because we are still 38 cars going. And the Opel Cadets are the fastest cars that are on track in this race, at least in pure lap time. Shadows are growing longer. probably not the best corners to do that. Better to adjust the pit menu on the straights. Yeah, that'd probably be good enough. Three wide in the background. Awesome. Yeah, the AI aggression is really good. Oh, and we have the Volvo box up ahead as well. Didn't even think I went all the way up into 5th gear into that corner, into turn 1. Or just before turn 1. Oh, yellow flag up ahead. What behind us? What the hell is that outside? Excuse me for a moment. Okay, so that's the neighbors trimming their hedge. Okay, I did not expect that on a rainy day. Well, here we are. Why are you defending? We're at least one lap down at this point. We even was shown the blue flag. Whoa! Okay, I didn't expect the Volvo to come so far back into the track. At the exit of that corner. Minutes left of the race. 23 liters of fuel. And the two Peugeot 405s are running quite close together still, as they have been for the most part of the race, the biggest part of the race. Ah, no worries, Hugo. It is starting to get dark, as you can see. Oh, I didn't realize there was another car in between there. It was a bit of a dive. Yeah, I think I should have left the AI at 97%. Could even have done 98 because I think I am better in traffic than they are. The yellow flag up ahead. There was a Peugeot doing some weird stuff. And somebody's on their way into the pits. I think that might have been a BMW. Still, I've driven for 80 minutes and I haven't encountered the Opel Kadets yet. Because I did pass them when they were in the pits in the early part of the race, and then they've been behind ever since. Liters worth of fuel and 10 minutes to drive. So we're gonna get another 6, 7 or 8 laps, I guess, in all this. I kind of want to put on a fresh set of tires for the last whatever laps are left after the pit stop. But given the traffic, I don't think there is any point. It's better to just save the time. And do a pure fuel stop. That was second position in the Fiat class. which means that this green one is probably the one who's leading. It is. rFactor is going in for some more fuel. Third and fourth position is already in for fuel as well. Kinda looked like the BMW came out on cold tires. Fuel light comes on. Do we stop on the... no, we stop on the next lap. That's 2 laps, and 2 laps of overtaking on the outside through the Paris corner. I think I could just spot a cadet up ahead. I don't know, it is too far ahead for me to actually see it. So only 2 retirements in the race so far, that's good. Outbraking myself, of course. So 1.5 minutes left, 2 more laps then. We're entering the last lap of the race. I'd love to do some more of these endurance races with the AI. Because they are quite fun. We need to do some more thorough testing though to see that, just to make sure that the AIs will be a bit closer to where I am in the level of driving. A bit not sure where that Porsche was going in that. Right, and across the line. I had so much fuel left. So I could have gone away with refueling like 8-9 liters instead of the 20 that I did fill in that last splash. But yeah. thanks. Yeah, I do hope that the real life race will be as that everything will just be running smoothly without any problem at all. And now we're actually getting to the point where you need headlights in the game. What is the local time? It's 6 in the afternoon. 6 in the evening. Well, there we are. It was a rather commanding win at the end then. By almost a full lap, 1 minute 19. And Leopold von Bayern was, well, I did lap him. Fabrizio De Simeone. Nigel Mansell in there for the Ford. Where did the DTM Opels finish? 18th and 20th. And the last of the Super Touring cars was the Peugeot 106, 806. 106 is a little bit smaller. And then the Peugeots, no sorry, the Fiats, and then the Peugeots after that. And we had 2 retirements, one of the Peugeot 208s and one of the Fiat 500s. Nice. Now let's see. Blink. Yep, that's the one. There is one thing I want to try. Want to see a 106 Pro car, yeah. Because this is one of the great vantage points on the circuit up here on the roof. Right, so let the cars run freely there. Why is everything running in super fast forward? Well, apart from the cars just zooming around, this is a very good rendition of how it is actually standing up here on the roof. Oh, there's one of the cadets. Now where am I compared to that cadet on the road? No, we're close. Oh yeah, that was the last lap. Yeah, so it literally turned from sundown into dark on the in lap after the race. Okay, so it is a replay quirk on the track then. All right. Well, I will be back tomorrow with some regular running in, with some rallying. So that'll be fun. I have the VDRM. The VDRM is coming up tomorrow. There will be no rFactor 2 on Thursday because, well, we're packing the car and everything to get everything ready to leave for Sweden early on Friday morning. But then we'll be live streaming pretty much the entirety of Saturday, I guess, with the going along the in the pit lane and such, and on the vantage point on the roof and everything. So I'm really getting ready for the race now. Having not being able to drive last year, I'm really looking forward to actually driving this year. That'll be fine. That'll be fun. But yeah, no, as I say, I'll be back tomorrow with some more rallying. So until then, do enjoy whatever is left of your Saturday, and I will catch you all later. So take care and goodbye.